Welcome to the I Hate Critics Movie Review Podcast. I'm professional film critic Sean Patrick. Hey, Jeff.
Buenas noches, buenos dias, depending on when you're listening to this.
Find us on various different types of social media. That's where we are. And I thought you've done a great job posting things on Facebook.
The two that I've done in the last month and a half.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But at least you've done them, and that's the important thing.
This is true. This is true.
What have you been talking about doing lately, Jeff?
Oh, lots of different things. Are you talking about something specifically that I brought up?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to justify paying to get into some shows this fall. And I recently kind of changed jobs a little bit and don't have a lot of extra income, but I'm doing some stuff. Like, for instance, this weekend, if you're in the Quad Cities, I will be at the Raccoon Motel flea market. And it's the second Saturday flea market. Every second Saturday, I'll try to be there. But I'm trying to just concentrate on that a little more. Getting rid of a bunch of sticker designs so I can kind of concentrate on what actually people want as opposed to what I think is funny.
Mm-hmm.
The break my hole, not my heart sticker, not a big seller for some reason.
Weird.
Yeah, it's odd how that happens. I made a Taylor Swift sticker for my niece a couple Christmases ago, and I have sold 3 of those. So I'm running a huge $2 sticker sale, which I have never ever done. These stickers, they don't have any margin. I'm basically just at this point breaking even on them,
Mm-hmm.
on some of the ones that I have. But yeah, I'm doing that. I'm trying to get into some more involved poster art. Like, I am doing one right now for Desperately Seeking Susan. After I watched a documentary on Tubi called 24 by 36, all about movie posters and the artists that did them. We all know that, I'm a huge Drew Struzan fan. John Amsel also is probably my second favorite poster artist. I do have quite a bit of his art hanging in my apartment, and there's a few other ones, but those two are kind of my go-tos, and they're explored pretty well in this 24 by 36 documentary, which I encourage everybody to see. So I'd like to do some more stuff, some limited run posters and things like that are actually posters instead of just 11 by 14 prints. So that might be something we'll talk about soon. Yeah, if anybody has any interest in any of that, let me know. I'm always open to ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm trying to concentrate more on the art, try to feed my soul a little bit since everything sucks.
Yeah,
that and collecting Fisher Price adventure people. So
that is the most interesting collection, I gotta say.
I went to an out of town antique mall today on my day off, and I looked for. There was something that was in a photo that they posted on Facebook that I was like, ooh, that's interesting. So I went to look at it, and it was about $50 more than I was willing to pay for it. And so, yeah, I didn't get anything today. I was very disappointed. So,
that's a bummer.
So if you know anybody who has Fisher Price adventure people, if they are willing to sell cheaply, let me know, because I am trying to get a complete set of those, since I'm never ever going to get a complete set of my vintage Star Wars, I've decided.
Wow. Yeah. How close are you on that?
I have probably about 20 figures and 4 sets to go. That's including there's a few prototypes that are floating around out there that looked like they were done in some sort of numbers. I'm I'm also going to, hopefully, if I can find it at a decent price, going to pick up the Fisher Price dollhouse,
Mhm.
which is the same scale, and a lot of the furnishings and stuff were ones that our cousin and I played with as a kid when we were playing with the adventure people. And I did. That's what I would actually went to look at today at this antique store. Was the Fisher Price dollhouse, because it all kind of, they use some of the same sculpts and whatever, but a little out of my budget. So
Well,
I'm kicking myself for not picking the one up that I saw at an estate sale um, several months ago before I started collecting adventure people. So,
yeah.
but,
What is your Star Wars figure holy grail?
well, the holy grail for me is the vintage yak face. I have the one of the retro collection versions of it.
Mhm.
Um, that was because I think I may have told this on the show before. I let my friend and his husband stay with me when I lived in Des Moines several years ago, and he gave me a vintage yak face. He gave it to me because he said, "I don't collect the vintage stuff. I am. It's not something I'm interested in, and I know that you do, so I would love for you to have it." I thought that was like the greatest thing ever. I let him and his
Mhm.
husband stay with me. I came home from work one day and Yak Face was gone, as was a good portion of my carded collection at the time, which was nothing vintage, but it was all, some stuff that I had collected since 1995, and that was 2000. So it was a good 5 years worth of figures that a lot of them were missing, the ones that I knew he needed because
Wow.
he would always tell me. Claims still to this day, I never took your stuff. That was your ex, and my ex obviously couldn't have been it because we had changed the locks by then. So yeah,
Uh,
so that is my grail. That and a vinyl Cape Jawa. Although I'm that's one that's so rare and so expensive. I will never have that. So I made myself a little reproduction of it. Um, and there's a few play sets and things that I've had in the past, and there's one that I had, and I have no idea whatever happened to it. Um, I had a piece of it, but I don't know. In one of my moves from Chicago to New York to LA to somewhere along the line, something happened to one of the play sets that is now way out of my price range for some reason,
oh,
even though it's
wow.
fairly common. But people do see Star Wars and decide that it's worth, you know, $100, even though it's like a $5 figure. I went to an estate sale last weekend here in the Quad Cities, and I know one of the guys who did it. And he goes, "Oh, we've got some Star Wars stuff, but it's nothing as good, and it's all like in bad shape and whatever." And so I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll check it out anyway." And I didn't realize because they didn't post any pictures of it, but I went because there was a $6 million man, 12-inch figure with a space capsule, and I was going to take my
Mhm.
chances and see if it was still there. It was gone on the second day. They had a bunch of Star Wars stuff that was horribly overpriced. You had an X-wing fighter when you were little.
Oh, sure.
Those go for about $100 in really good condition because those were released, throughout the saga, throughout the toy run, and this had peeling stickers. It was yellow. The electronics didn't work. It didn't have any of the guns or the canopy on it. They wanted $60 for this thing, and I was like,
Huh.
"What?
No.
Are you high?" They had a couple of the guns, the Han Solo gun and the Stormtrooper gun that they wanted $80 a piece for, which didn't work, and you had visible signs of corrosion. And I was just like, "Are you guys fucking kidding me? Come on, really?" So
Right?
yeah, people see Star Wars on something and they think that it's, you know, not insanely common. Um, there is there is actually, it's harder to find some of the adventure people stuff than it is the Star Wars stuff. I went to a couple different antique malls today, and there was like probably I saw probably 40 vintage figures in various states of, you know, repair, and
Mhm.
not a
That was the
single
tough thing
adventure
about
people.
about those venture people is that the paint came off them seemingly very easily.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a few I have a few that are in really excellent condition, and I have some that I'm like definitely be looking out for replacements for them. So, and when I
I always
get
found it strange though that some of them like had a flesh tone underneath their suit, and of course the suit is the paint is coming off. So it's like
yeah.
now I've just got this nude figure.
Well, and that's the thing about like okay, that same thing with Star Wars. So like the some of the Luke Skywalker figures where the heads were on yellow plastic and the faces were painted.
Mhm.
Some of them were on black plastic, so both were painted. So you know when something scuffs off, oh, why does he have a black spot on his nose? Because his entire head is black.
Hmm.
Um, there's yet with adventure people though, I find that the bodies, like the hard plastic part of the bodies, were printed or were painted. Um, they never picked a color for them. They never
Mhm.
said, like I'm picking one up right now. Uh, the body is green, but I feel like on most of them, the body is painted green, but underneath is some other weird color. Um,
Right.
and it almost feels like maybe it was just the whatever they had available at the time um, at the factory to make the body.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'm there's a few that like I've got a few Grail pieces that I just absolutely love that I got for almost next to nothing. Um,
Hmm.
you know, the TV news van, which is just the most I how do you sell that to a kid? You know? Um,
It's toy size and it's got a plastic figure with it. That's all I needed.
yeah. Well, and the van is cool. The van has this little spot, and they use the same mold for all the vans in the series. But the van has a thing on the side where it turns out, and there's a little chair with a little control thing. Um, it has this like a radio tower or television tower. It's got a big camera that you can look through, and you can adjust the picture on it a little bit. Um, it's one of the only black characters, and it's that is the female reporter, and she's
Oh,
got a
yeah.
mic with a mic thing, and she has a vinyl skirt, which
Yeah.
was
I
really
remember her.
different. She had the big afro. I thought that was really cool. She's definitely one of my favorite ones, and um, I'm showing it to Sean.
Oh, yeah,
One of
I
my
had her as a
yeah,
kid.
one of my absolute favorite figures. And the producer that comes with him looks like Lou Grant, and I always kind of thought that maybe it was a Lou Grant figure, because it looks kind of like Ed Asner. And you know, here I don't know if you remember him. You know, it could also pass for
Ed
your
Asner, of
dad.
course. Mhm. Oh, yeah. The coolest thing about the, Adventure Time characters was they were smart. They made them the same height. Not the same way, not with the same articulation, but the same height as the GI Joes of that era, and you could that meant you could just fold them right into the GI Joe universe when you're playing.
Well, so interesting fact. Adventure people. So I think it was I want to say Mega Man from Japan was one of the first mainstream 3 3/4 inch figures. And adventure people were the first mainstream ones in America, and they actually are what the designers at Kenner used as the basis for the Star Wars line to give proof of concept.
Hmm.
They painted some of those figures, the guy with the gray hair, the space
Mhm.
commander or whatever. They painted him to look like Obi-Wan Kenobi, um, Luke and Han, Leia. They actually they took one and sculpted over a stormtrooper over it. Um, just really interesting. The photos of those are really cool. They had a filament lightsaber on the Luke. Um, That's really interesting. And then once the Star Wars line really took off, that's when you saw, a bunch of the space figures that came out with Adventure People. That's when GI Joe really like said, you know what, we're gonna go all in on 3 3/4 inch. Um, that's when you started to get all of those, and He Man was kind of a reaction to that because they
Hmm.
wanted bigger and bulkier, which was ironic that when they brought the Star Wars figures back in 1995, Luke looked like He Man. I don't know if you remember that at all, if you were paying any
No,
attention, but he was big and buff and looked like he had the same hair as He-Man. He kind of looked like He-Man. There was
weird
Leia.
choice.
She also was big and buff. Well, that's what they thought kids wanted because He-Man was so popular, up until the 90s, whereas Star Wars died
Hmm.
out around 90 or 85. Um, so when they reintroduced Star Wars, they're like, well, what's the most popular thing out there? Which is still He-Man. Let's do that. So it's kind of, the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail.
Right.
Um, but He-Man being a kind of a reaction to that, a little bigger and buffer, and had had a lot more accessories and things like that, and just such a depth of characters as opposed to even Star Wars, which had 100 figures.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Um, and Adventure People died out about 1983, 84. I actually saw one of the last playsets they made today, which was a truck, and I would have bought it, but it was missing the bumper and it was missing the lights on the top, and the wheels were not original, all that. But um, I I'm just kind of getting into like the history of it. And there's a few YouTube videos out there that really tell you about it, and I'm yes, I am in my 50s, so these hit me right in the nostalgia bone. Uh, so yeah, if I'm hoping to get a complete set uh, as soon as possible, really. But I don't think I'll ever get a complete set of Star Wars unless I happen to win the lottery, which I did not do last night. So there's always tomorrow night. And if that's the
Yeah.
case, I'm going to make a lot of eBay people very happy on Thursday morning.
Great regrets for me are just all of the toys that I had that are now probably worth a lot of money that I just absolutely destroyed. But on the
Yep,
bright side, it just meant that I loved them a lot.
this is true. This is true. I always was hoping to go up in the attic with your sister and find a treasure trove, but we never did do that.
Wish those still existed. Oh well. Movies of the '80s this week. We get a really a surprisingly popular story that I didn't think this would pop off, but it has done pretty well. It's about the movie. It's about a movie that no one remembers called "Looking to Get Out" with John Voight and Burt Young. And the main
Hmm.
reason we wrote about it was that it finished filming on the day of the 1982 MGM Grand Fire, and running up to the day of that fire, which killed 82 people, Hal Ashby had said to his production designer on set, "There are no doors in here." And it's like, wow, just to have that preserved in history is just so weird and ominous. And so he wrote about that coincidence and about how the movie is forgotten. The only thing that's known for is the fact that if it's known for anything, it's known for the fact that it was Angelina Jolie's first film appearance. When she was like, I don't, she was like 7, I think,
Yeah.
and but also that that fire had finished filming that day, which is just wild.
Wasn't Anne Margaret in that?
Yes. Wow.
Okay.
Someone other than us knows what that is. That's amazing.
Anne Margaret and I share a birthday, so you know,
Oh, you're kind of an expert in her then?
I have an affinity for her. I'm not not an expert, but
Cool.
I
We
I know
also
a little
have
bit.
a story up about the jazz singer. We've got our anatomy of a flop, which I get it. A lot of people are upset that we call it a flop because it made money. Hey, it made money. Yeah, it flopped. It was a major flop. You're not even thinking about the marketing campaign, not to mention the fact that it was outsold by its own soundtrack. It flopped, people. So we got a story up about why it flopped and the ways it flopped, and covering Laurence Olivier just completely trashing the film after it came out, even though he's one of the stars of the film. He had a weird '80s Olivier because he had this movie and he made Inchon in like the next one, and it's like Inchon is the one of the most cursed films ever made. It was made by
Hmm.
the People's Temple religion, and they were paying Olivier $7 million that they would deliver in suitcases of $1 million on set
Oh,
to keep him
Jesus.
working. Yeah. It was made by a cult for $42 million, not counting the amount of cash that they were just doling out on set. And it made almost $100,000 at the box office on a $42 million budget. Arguably the most cursed movie ever made.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now, and yeah, the poster looks familiar.
It was the Reverend Sun Young Moon. His cult made the movie.
That's insane.
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely wild. So we got that story has been up for a long time at movies of the '80s because we used to call it cursed movies. Now we call it Anatomy of a Flop because that seems to do better as a title.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool, very fun stuff. Well, a lot of fun stuff. We're talking about City Heat as well this week. The failed Burt Reynolds Clint Eastwood teaming. So we're in December of 1984. If you want to check out the movies of the '80s YouTube channel.
Nice.
All right, so I want to talk about new movies, Jeff.
Why don't we?
I guess there was a big movie this week. I don't know
I'll
how
say.
big it was. Like, theaters are dead. Nobody goes to the movies anymore. Nobody wants to sit in a movie theater.
Except,
Except this is the biggest opening weekend of all time for any movie ever.
yeah, that is insane.
$380 million, Jeff. That's what it made in just the US box office alone. It may cross $1 billion worldwide this week. That's how big Spider-Man Brand New Day is.
In fucking sane.
Is
I
this
went
official?
to
Is it Spider-Man who's the hit, or can Tom Holland take some credit here?
I think it's both. I think Tom Holland. So there's a thing that has been happening on the internet lately, and it is everybody talks about Tom Holland lip sync battle
Mhm.
umbrella every time it comes up. 50 million people like talk about it and interact with the post. Um, it is by far one of the best videos I've ever seen.
Mhm.
It is incredible. He is incredible. I mean, he's just there's just something about him, and I it's only been in the last couple of years. I think since probably Infinity War that he has really kind of come into his own. Um,
Mhm.
and I think it's a combination because Spider-Man has always done well. The last one was so great. Um, just like bringing Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and all of the villains into it just really kind of sparked something, I think, for Spider-Man fans. And I think in Tom Holland, I think that the interaction and the story of bringing those two in, and then him having to give up everything, and where do you go from there? And he
Yeah.
realizes that they're happy at the end of the last one, so he's like, you know what, I'm gonna let them be happy and safe, and then that's where it leaves him, and he's literally alone.
Yeah.
So I think that people were, how do you get out of that? How do you get away from that? And I think so many people were looking forward to that, and it took 5 years to show us. Um,
And
I
a
went
smart
to
choice. Yeah.
yeah, I went to get tickets for Thursday night in Davenport, and it was, for all intents and purposes, sold out, completely sold out. There were 20 showings that were completely sold out. I'm
That's
not
wild.
counting. I'm not counting the front row because nobody sits in the front row. Um, there was a one that I was about 15 minutes away from, and I looked at it, and there was one seat smack dab in the middle of but surrounded by people, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm done peopling for the day." Um, so I went to Moline and watched it,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
it was still fairly full by the time the movie started. So I good for them because
Yeah.
everybody talks about how, oh, it's cinema is dead, Marvel Universe is dead, and this pretty much shows that it is not.
No, people want to see this character, they want to see this story, and they picked the perfect director. Destin Daniel
Hmm.
Cretton directing this. He's such a great director. Every movie he's made, I've just absolutely loved. He's but from Short Term 12 through now, he doesn't miss, this guy. And in here he's such a great director of emotion and getting to the heart of difficult emotions, and that can be often be a very challenging thing to do when you're making a superhero movie, is to make that emotional connection with the audience. And he takes enough time to give us both the thrilling aspects and circle around back to that emotional through point, the with the MJ and Ned. And MJ and Ned are wonderful characters who we've fallen in love with over time, and we want to see them, we want to be there, but at the same time, we know we're right there with Peter. We know we're on his side and understanding where he is, and that level of connection with a character is just so rare. Even when we're talking about with the fourth film in a series, the it's can still be kind of hard to be this connected to a character, but he really is. I think he's more human than any other superhero. He has
Hmm.
more identification with the audience than any other superhero does. Tony Stark always felt apart from us. You know, he's the aspirational character. Spider-Man is our guy. That's our friend who's like, he'll sit there and watch, play with Legos with us and like talk
Yeah.
about nerd stuff. And Tony Stark's not doing that. Steve Rogers couldn't do that, you know? And that's what makes that character just so wonderful, and they've done such an amazing job of surrounding him with the right cast and the right director and the right, stories to tell, and it's been incredible to watch this run of Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Yeah. And sequels by definition have a lot of diminishing returns, but this one has just kind of gotten much better as has gone on. And I'm including, like Civil War and the two Avengers movies where he's in. So yeah, it's
Oh, yeah,
just
there's a reason the meme became, Spider-Man being the one who
uh-huh.
disappears. Like, that's the meme that emerged, because there's Black Panther in there, there's a whole bunch of other well-known characters who turned to dust in at the end of the first half of that film franchise, and, but it's always Spider-Man. If they're gonna use a meme, it's gonna be Spider-Man because that's the one we
Yep,
connected with. So yeah,
100%.
the story here, of course, is picking up with Spider-Man being alone. He's alone in New York. He's spending all of his time fighting crime. We get a little bit of his current story with the help of a conversation with a police officer who's his friend and is kind of helping him try to balance his life a little bit, even as, of course, she's got a big job to do. There's this new company called Damage Control, which is become a major entity in the universe that is essentially trying to come up with ways to compete with superheroes and clean up after them and try and develop ways to keep up with them. And they've done something horrible that they've kept secret and they don't tell Spider-Man about, and it leads him to our villain in this movie. And I gotta say, they did an amazing job of keeping this secret, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there were whispers, and, um, quite honestly, I was kinda hoping that the rumors were not true because I I loved Famke Janssen, but I it was handled so well, and it couldn't be anybody else. You know what I mean? Just based on the way they handled it and the secrecy, and nobody knew who the villain was, and there were so many villains at the beginning that he was fighting. Interesting enough, some of the Easter eggs that with those villains, all of the the shots that they show where they're the slow mo, and then they kind
Mhm.
of do almost a freeze frame, but not quite. Those are all based on like legit comic book covers.
Mm.
So that was something I really appreciated because I love the comic art. So, but yeah, the fact that they are introducing this villain this way is kind of perfect.
The only thing I knew was that Sadie Sink was in the movie, and I didn't know who she was playing. And so that I'm, like, looking for her, watching for her throughout the movie because 'cause I'm a big fan of hers. I love her as an actress. And, I'm like, where is she? When is she coming in? And, then they finally reveal her, and I was like, "Oh, oh!" It was a great moment. It was great to figure that out and to feel smart enough to figure out what was going on, with that. And then they told a really emotional story that was really smart and, sort of aligned her and Spider-Man in their way, and what was up with both of them. Just dealing with grief and loss, and to give Marissa Tomei one of the most pivotal moments in the movie, even though Aunt May is dead, she still gets
Yeah.
one of the most pivotal moments in this movie, and it's so. I cried during the scene. I did. I got teary. It was beautiful. She did an incredible job in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, she's an Oscar winner. Like of course she's gonna deliver. Um, I there wasn't a bad note in this movie. Um,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel like the only character I could that didn't matter to the story really was Hulk. Um, Hulk being Hulk. I feel like
Right.
everything that he did, Jean Grey could have done as far as like destroying everything, whatever. Um, but still, I like having like Banner there. He's such a good sounding board for um Peter Parker, and I feel like if he was going to tell anybody, that he had made everybody forget, Banner would have been the perfect one.
Mhm.
For him to say, "Hey, this is going to sound really weird, but we knew each other for a couple of years, and um, I talked to Doctor Strange, who he won't remember it either because he was affected by it, but
Mhm.
you don't remember me because of a spell that he did." So I don't know. I That was the only thing I thought about afterwards. I'm like, huh, okay. Also,
Go ahead.
the own I guess I was disappointed by the lack of a mid-credit scene because I wanted something funny with Ned. I really, I wanted
Yeah.
him to like, I don't know, meet um Bruce Banner or have I don't know, Flash get some sort of comeuppance for pretending he was Spider-Man, or like I don't know.
I think, one of the things that they did that was so smart was they've, completely ended the debate of, over whether or not he has spider webs in him or the spider, the fake spider ones that he made himself,
Mhm.
and giving audiences both of those things in the same movie is
Yeah.
really smart, and the way they did it with, the idea, the layering in this idea of the spider life cycle and how spiders can become stronger over time. I was like, that's a cool
Mhm.
detail. I don't know if that was in the comics or not, but it's a smart detail.
Well, and it really mirrored the original idea. James Cameron wrote a treatment for the original Spider-Man, the one that ended up being Sam Raimi.
Mhm.
And in his, everything was it was all natural spider webs, and he woke up, and it was basically an allegory for a wet dream. Like he
Sure.
woke up covered in spooge, spider spooge, whatever. Um, and it was pretty obvious by by what he wrote that that's what it was. It was supposed to be a wet dream,
Mhm.
and I like it so much better the way they did it in this movie, where you could if you know the lore, then sure, that's what it could read as. But it's also what is going on? Why am I all of a sudden secreting this?
Mhm.
So
Incredibly well done, and then that fight scene against the hand in
yeah,
the
beautiful.
facility, that was terrific. A terrific piece of work, and at some point he's going to, figure himself out and kind of bring his powers together, and giving him that moment to do it was so cleverly the way they introduced it and how they used it, and genius. And then we haven't even mentioned Jon Bernthal as the Punisher,
Oh,
who just does a great job. He's such a great human character.
mhm.
The dynamic between him and Spider-Man, that where Spider-Man continues to remind him about how he saved his life. I mean, it gives it this old school buddy cop moment almost
Yep.
that really works. The Riggs and Murtaugh idea there was very clever. I just really I adore that character and the way that they folded him into this universe, and giving him these really important moments, especially him at the end protecting Spider-Man in the hospital was it was such a sweet little scene. And, him admitting that he and Spider-Man are friends, like, you can just tell that this is not something the Punisher character is comfortable with, and he's forcing himself into it, and Bernthal plays that dynamic incredibly well.
There's a meme that I saw today that um, it was my favorite Marvel Universe Spider-Man actors ranked, and John Bernthal was number two, which I thought was really funny because,
Yeah.
yeah, he's that moment was great.
It's so hilarious to me how many right-wing people don't understand the Punisher character, and this
Oh,
kind of
tell me about
is
it.
another great reminder of just how much they don't get the character at all.
I God, I am the thin blue line Punisher flag decal
Yeah.
that I see on so many trucks around here. Every time I see it, I'm like, you have got the smallest penis, and you have 100% no media literacy whatsoever.
Totally. Totally, because the Punisher you're the person the Punisher is ready to kill. You don't understand.
Yeah,
You're the one who's not gonna feel bad about hurting.
exactly. Yeah, I was like, why? Why? Now
It's
I don't
almost like
know because
this
I
movie helps us reclaim him from that side a little bit.
yeah I haven't watched the Punisher TV shows,
Uh-huh.
so I don't know if Spider-Man appeared in that and there was like something that they were referencing from that, or if it was just you're just supposed to get it. So
I think you're just supposed to get it because I don't think they had the budget to have Tom Holland in them in the TV show.
you're probably right about that.
I didn't see it either, but like I said, it didn't really matter. He felt like he belonged immediately,
Oh yeah, one
regardless of
hundred
the TV
percent,
show.
100%.
The perfectly lived in dynamic between the two of them. They've got a banter already going on when they see each other for the first time in the movie. It's freaking great. This movie is terrific. I think honestly, I think this could stick around. This could stick around for Oscar season. I'm not even joking about
Hmm.
that. This could
I
have
mean,
a Black Panther level impact because it's so huge and undeniable and also incredibly well made.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that the performances in it are so good. Zendaya when she finds Peter's note, I was
Mhm.
just like, oh god, and she's just like, look, I don't love you,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh shit, because you feel like if she finds it, she's gonna be like, oh my god, Peter, I love you so much, but then she's just like, I don't love you, I don't know you.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually they'll either get together or they'll introduce one of his other love interests, and she'll just be the friend. Um, but yeah, I mean, there is talk about having uh, Black Canary, I think, or I don't know, Black Cat, I don't- whichever one,
Uh-huh.
come in and be a um, love interest. But I don't know. I don't know.
Honestly, like I was under the I went into this thinking Sadie Sink is playing one of the other female characters that's was in Peter's life before,
Yeah.
like in the comics. And I'm like, oh, so that's who she's going to be. Okay, I'm interested. All right, that's cool. That works. And it's like, nope, she's not. She's got a whole other thing going on.
I mean, she could have been a good Spider Gwen.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
this movie's incredible. I absolutely love it. It's a top 5 movie of the year so far. It's not getting anywhere
Ooh,
near Mother Mary, obviously, but
no.
what could at this point for me? It's fantastic. I want to see it again and again.
Well, you can because it's not going to leave theaters anytime soon.
But
I
I
have
feel
a
like it'll be just as much fun if I see it again, which is really great. You don't see that very often.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't think it's going to lose much on subsequent viewings. It'll probably be, now that you know what the setups are and everything, I think it'll really add to it. So, so yeah.
Next week, there's only one movie this week. There is another movie. We've got a classic this week, but yeah, in terms of new movies, that was it. That was one. There was one new movie, and I'm so glad it was so good.
Right?
So we had a tough show. This where it's such a great movie
Oh,
because we're not going to do an hour on Blood Diner. I don't think. I don't think. I don't.
no, we're
I
not.
don't see
No,
us probably
nope,
doing an hour
definitely
on it.
not.
Blood Diner is directed by Jackie Kong from 1987 on a budget of $330,000. It was intended to be a sequel to a Herschel Gordon Lewis classic and they even were talking about having Herschel Gordon Lewis direct this at the
Yeah.
time, but that fell through. And then it fell to Jackie Kong, and they cut the budget to the absolute bone. And the fact that she was able to do what she did with $300,000 is pretty fucking incredible when you think about it. Because this movie is gross and disgusting and weird and funny and just everything wrong with the 80s. Um, but Jeff,
Uh,
you have a better perspective on this because you've actually met the director.
I worked with Jackie Kong on some logo design for her comic Spend the Night. We've had many, 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 many conversations. I actually reached out and did not hear back in time for the show to see if she wanted to come on and talk about it. If she ever gets back to me, then I'll record something with her and we can post it. But yeah, I had never actually, I guess, I don't want to say I'd never watched Blood Diner because I remember renting it in the 80s. Um, but as an adult, I realized I'd never seen it as an adult
Mm-hmm.
as I was watching it over several different times over the last week. Um, it is something. Um, if you go into it hoping that you're going to see a horror comedy that is really over the top, this movie is the movie for you. 100%.
Yeah. Comical cannibalism, vegan restaurant,
Yeah.
brains in jars.
With
It,
eyes that talk.
it's completely insane, and it has that. It's not nearly like as good, not even in the same league as good as Evil Dead, but the spirit is there because there's both just incredibly low budget and inventive because they have to be. They have to come up with ways to do this crazy crap for no money, and that's the most impressive thing about it for me is that they got into a bunch of crazy crap with absolutely no money to do it.
You know how they say, "Oh, this movie cost $300,000, and every cent of that is on the screen." I would love to know what happened to the other $200,000 that was off the screen in this movie. Was it
This
spent
isn't
on
a kid
cocaine?
film. They didn't stuff it in their pocket.
Oh, yeah. I
Uh,
mean,
so
it's
two brothers run a diner. They got an uncle who was killed by police in the past. They decided to dig him up to help them engage in a ancient ritual that will bring some woman to life. If they kill a bunch of women and assemble her parts like Frankenhooker. Um,
mhm.
you wish you were Frank Henenlotter. God damn it. Um, Actually, he was probably
Uh-huh.
influenced by this movie because he made his movies after this. But nevertheless, Frankenhooker's a better movie. Um, there, I said it.
So is Skinamarink. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
mean,
Just kidding. It's totally not.
oh fuck. Um, that's the idea though. Like, is that kind of craziness? If you've seen Frankenhooker, then you understand. Like, that's what that's the kind of aesthetic that it's aspiring to. Or Basket Case would be another good example of this. Reanimator would be the height, I guess, of this idea, this kind of craziness. And um, there's elements of it that are fun, and there's a lot of elements of it's like, okay, I get it, edgelord.
Yeah. I I'm very torn because I like Jackie.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't like this movie. It took me about 4 times to get all the way through it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the
um,
actors are not engaging, and the idea isn't engaging, and you you kind of want to do other things, but there's so much weird shit happening. You kind of have to look up and go, "What are they doing now?" Uh.
yeah,
That's kind of the whole vibe of it. It was like, oh, oh, they're doing that, huh?
yeah.
Oh. Oh, they're cutting out another. They cut out their eyes. The eyes are popping into the. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. And what's funny is like, okay, so this is, it's a horror comedy, emphasis on the slapstick comedy part of it because not really horror. There's some, I think my favorite part is the they deep fry the head of the one woman and then he knocks it off with a broom or something and it goes rolling across and it's like just a chicken nugget for a head. I don't know. It's yeah. I don't know.
That,
I
that's
just
about the level.
yeah. And I just don't I think that um there's a reason that it's not as kind of well kind of talked about as well as some of these other horror comedies from the 80s and 70s even into the 90s, that are kind of like Student Bodies. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie is funny. It's actually funny. So it's supposed to be. It's like Airplane meets slasher movies.
Right.
Um, but it's also what this isn't what this lacks in, actual jokes and setting up stuff that pays off later. Student Bodies does that. Um, I don't think that this one is successful in the horror, in the comedy, in the, like setting up Jackie Kong as being, a great director who's going to work for a long time. So I think she only did 4 movies total. Um, it's not, there's nobody that's a standout in it because they're all pretty terrible.
Mhm.
Um,
I did like Sheba Jackson a little bit. She was kind of
yeah,
fun,
yeah,
but um Lynette LaFrance, the actress, she was
yeah,
fine. She did okay. But
yeah.
yeah, overall, this isn't a fun movie. It's not really a fun bad movie. It's mostly known because the female directors aren't really known in this particular genre. And at the time she's making this, she's like one of like 5 women that are getting,
Hmm.
theatrically released films. This was briefly theatrical, which shocked me to find ads for it in the newspaper in 1987, but I found them. Um, and yeah, there are only like 5 directors in total, women who are working as regularly as Jackie Kong did, making 3 movies in the '80s.
And it has a great poster and a great tagline. I think
Give him
that's
the
what
tag.
people remember about it
Give
is
him
the
the tagline.
poster. First they uh meet you, then they eat you.
So much promise in that idea right there. And not a lot of payoff. I mean, yes, they do eat people, but like it's not a lot of the payoff isn't as funny as that line promises it to be. I think
Yeah. I just
that's the that tagline has more attitude than the actual movie
it's like the this time it's personal, the Jaws, the revenge, you know?
does.
Like that's something that people still say, this time
Mhm.
it's personal. And, now it's like, oh, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Oh, I'm sorry. It's first they greet you, then they eat you,
Yeah,
which doesn't make any more sense
close
to me.
enough. Eh, yeah. There's a reason why it's not a cult classic or a movie that's shown on the midnight circuit because it doesn't rise to the level of an Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2 or that kind of thing. It
Yeah.
wishes it could be that kind of movie. It wishes it could be Basket Case for that matter. Like, it just wishes it could be
Hmm.
something along that weirdo line that it doesn't have the ability to be.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, and I know that some people say, oh, it gets a special dispensation for having been directed by a woman. It's a horror movie, but like Slumber Party Massacre did it way better. And
Mhm.
that was a satire too.
Yeah,
That was Rita Mae Brown wrote that, who is like a feminist icon. Um, Pet Cemetery, The Stepfather, lots of these pretty well known um, horror movies that have been directed, like American Psycho. Say what you will, it's a horror movie.
sure.
Um, it just, it's like that doesn't give it a pass to me. You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah, I hear you. I found the work of Jackie Kong myself through, the movie Night Patrol because I was researching
mhm.
some some, uh, some crazed human being in 1982 thought to themselves, "You know who needs a 3-picture deal? The unknown comic, Murray Langston." And they gave him a
Oh,
3-picture deal, 2 of which were directed by Jackie Kong. He was in her movie The Being, and, then she directed his movie Night Patrol, which, I found a surprising cult audience for that film. Although, again, I don't see it. That's one of the it's one of those wannabe Naked Gun kinda movies.
mm,
But the joke is that Murray Langston, the unknown comic, wears blackface, and that's funny.
mm.
Or hey, look, there's a little person in the movie. That seems to be a common joke. For some reason, like in the '80s, you just go, "Well, we got a little person in the movie. Isn't that funny? Look, he's a little person."
Well, I mean, that's you
No,
throw
it's
Billy
not.
Barty into any movie in the '80s, so
Well, Night Patrol. He's in Night Patrol.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I yeah, I mean, I know that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you throw him into any movie, and
Like, I think I controversial opinion, maybe it should actually be funny. I don't know. Maybe actually make it funny instead of, like, going, "Well, hey, there's a really short guy here."
Yeah.
Come on. But, she did make 3 movies in the '80s, which makes her one of the most prolific female directors of the decade, and what does that tell you about Hollywood in the '80s?
It was terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible for women.
Alright, Jeff, what's coming up next week?
Oh, we have Maddie's Secret, which is a movie about an eating disorder,
Hmm, okay.
apparently. We have I Want Your Sex, a Greg Erikai movie starring the woman of the moment, Olivia Wilde.
And, Cooper Hoffman in that as well.
Uh-huh. And we also have One Night Only with the weirdly sexy Callum Turner.
Is he ugly hot?
He's ugly hot. He is ugly hot. And I said that when we watched
I
Eternity.
Yeah. I gotta say, I find
And
the trailer for that film to be charming. It's one of the few trailers
yeah,
lately where I've been like, I don't mind seeing that one a couple times. They seem to have a nice chemistry. The idea, so I want to know how they're going to execute this idea. Is it going to be, are they going to do it in one night, or is it going to be a series of nights over like a couple of years? Because apparently in this universe, you can only have sex one night out of the year, every year if you're single. And
welcome to my life.
I'm curious how they're gonna pull that off, but the chemistry between him and the female lead, whose name is escaping me right now, seems pretty solid. Like, they seem to have a pretty good,
Yeah,
romantic, fire between the 2 of them.
yeah, yeah. I was interested to actually watch that once I saw the trailer. I was like, okay, I'm down. It's got
So our
ugly
classic
hot.
should be, Fatal Attraction.
Well, I was actually gonna pick. So I started watching the Clint Howard '90s Ice Cream Man because originally I was going to pick that as our classic because there's another movie that's coming out this week called Ice Cream Man by Eli Roth. But we are not doing that movie, and I'm going to tell listeners why. Because he uses generative AI in it, and he actually the AI company that he uses is credited in it. And as an artist, I'm not cool with generative AI. AI has its uses as a tool, but not
Mhm.
for art.
No. Yeah, fuck
So
Eli Roth. I've always said fuck Eli Roth. I'm on record of fuck Eli Roth for years on this show, and I get to further that here because he's being a piece of shit, so.
he's actually, for me, he has lost the goodwill that he had with Thanksgiving because
Mhm.
that went a long way towards kind of redeeming him in my eyes because it was really funny and really good. And he did a TV series and a podcast series called History of Horror, and he had some really interesting guests on it. And then he turns around and does this shit. So sorry, we're skipping it.
Absolutely, and Super Troopers. That's just not funny.
Yeah, no.
I don't drink alcohol, so I don't get Super Troopers.
Well, and honestly, like 3 movies a week is pushing it for me because of my work schedule and everything. So we're gonna stick to 3, and we're not gonna do that. So
Yeah, there's no reason to. There's no reason to bother with that. Nothing's gonna make money this weekend. People are only gonna go see Spider-Man. I feel bad, honestly, for, the Callum Turner movie because that movie's gonna get swamped this weekend.
this weekend's classic is Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Just so we can talk about it some more. Um, no, you know what? I'm kind of, let me just see if it's available because I was thinking about when Doomsday comes out, doing the Doom generation as
Mhm.
just kind of a joke. Um, is it available to stream anywhere? Because I don't own it. If the Doom generation is available to stream, then we can watch that. But I don't. Oh yeah, I mean, we can watch it. Let's do the Doom generation, another Greg Archive video, our movie.
All
Have
right.
you seen it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, oh,
I don't
interesting.
I don't remember if I did or not.
Yeah, James
So it didn't
Duval,
if I did, it didn't stay with me.
Rose McGowan, and Jonathan Sheck at the height of his beauty. I'll just put it that way.
Hmm,
So, and a cast that is like amazing. So, yeah, all right. Well, then, Doom Generation is our classic. So,
sounds good. All right, thanks, Jeff.
have a great night.